New cards, PogChamp, new cards, PogChamp. So, of course, the first thing that we're talking about is Story 15, The Mysterious Sinful Spoils. We got to get the Diabellstar out of the way, so make sure your sniffer is still working because it's time to get a scent of what she's up to. Demons are the very definitions of the calamities of this world, an inescapable absurdity. They deceive humans through all sorts of ways, and by extracting and disposing of their souls, they turn them into puppets. For those creatures that only see the need for obedient tools, souls stained with sin are disposable, those who steal and those who are stolen from. Ironically, both coexist in an egalitarian way, and that being the case for a girl that had everything stolen from her, a struggle to steal everything begins. Sinful spoils of subversion, Snake Eye. The abandoned souls with no place to go have their engraved sins judged by the laws of this world, and that is how these sinful spoils, cursed items that bring apart calamity, are born. Their new form, beyond salvation, is like sinners wandering through eternity. Man, I just love how Japanese mythologies absorb Christianity. It's incredible. It's just like, sins and sinners, and, what are you going to do? It's just incomprehensible. All right. In a certain tavern in an underground city. Hey, you, the girl over there. Have you heard this one? How people are saying the sinful spoil seeker has made it all the way to these parts? You don't know about it? It's about a treasure hunter who collects cursed treasures. Rumor has it that for a sinful spoil, it will even kill its comrades. Everyone that has seen it says the same thing. It's truly a demon. You're asking me if I've seen these sinful spoils? No way. I don't want anything to do with such dangerous things. That reminds me, there was a guy who said he saw an eye in the ruins to the southeast. Oh, you are already leaving? Boy, what an unsociable girl that was. Diabellstar the Black Witch, a treasure hunter wearing a black outfit who can control magic. Her lack of mercy while vanquishing enemies while gathering sinful spoils earned her the moniker of Demon. By nature, it should be impossible for humans to use the sinful spoils. However, through a special spell, she made it possible. Nobody knows about her past because they haven't played Whitewoods. Story 1. How long is this? I'm not reading this. Oh, it's not that long, actually. After leaving the underground city and heading southeast, guided by a faint clue about sinful spoil, a collapsed ruins appeared. The divine temple where the guardian deity of the land was venerated had now been twisted by the influence of the sinful spoil Snake Eye that appeared out of nowhere, turning it into an atrocious thing. After mowing down the one-eyed creatures inhabiting the place and reaching the deepest section of the ruins, a massive eye was there, glowing a bright red. The very instant that the witch and the grotesque eye met was a signal announcing the beginning of the hunt. A massive dragon appeared from inside the blue flames and offered a howl at delight to the first new prey in a long time. That's him. Okay, so this guy is from the sealed sinful spoil. We have Oak. The massive dragon was struggling until the very end, dragging along its underlings into an unexpectedly tough fight with Diabellstar. However, she's successful at extinguishing its wild azure flames. The Black Witch thought she had succeeded in her objective, but the moment she tried collecting the sinful spoil, countless cracks appeared on its eye. And guess what? It's Poplar. There's Raizeol. There's Silvera. After defeating the sinful Snake Eyes Flamberge dragon, cracks appeared from inside the leftover sinful spoil, overflowing with blue flames, and from inside, it was this guy. It was just a little baby. A mysterious creature born from the original sinful spoil. The first time Diabellstar was perplexed by something, but she ended up collecting it as a sinful spoil. It seems the magic items lately around her seem to be less effective. Maybe it's her imagination or her lack of sleep. Story 2, The 100 Goblins. After collecting Snake Eye's Poplar, which came out of the sinful spoil, Diabellstar returned to the underground city that she was using as her base. The very moment she thought she could spend some time researching Poplar and taking a break until the hunt for the next sinful spoil, the sound of explosions rang. Hey, Black Witch, we've been waiting for you. It's you guys again. Thus, a fated battle was about to begin. That little fellow the Black Witch is carrying looks like one of them sinful spoils from the poster, don't it? With that thought, the goblins set their eyes on the mysterious creature. While the diversion squad distracted the Black Witch, they succeeded in stealing Poplar, who was sleeping soundly and wouldn't wake up even among the explosion sounds. However, their joy was short-lived, for the moment they faced the Black Witch, who was quickly beating up their companions with the face of a demon, their smiles froze in fear. Sensing the impending danger, their leader, Gabonga, goes for the ultimate gamble. He removes the shackles of the goblin's crazy beast, a dangerous magical beast sealed in the wharf, which they managed to catch, but no one had been able to ride. The beast was rampaging with no concern for friend or foe, and it was apparently storing a powerful magic in its body. Poplar, sensing that magic, or because of the uproar, awoke. It swallowed the sinful spoil Atheon that Gabonga obtained at the end of his great adventure. Poplar, having barely awakened and with an empty stomach, challenges the beast, which carried a delicious, sinful spoil magic within it. A very literal eat-or-be-eaten contest. With no regard for the difference inside, Poplar absorbed the whole beast, but for some reason something was off. Before one could even realize it, Poplar transformed into a great flaming demon. Diabellstar shackled the demon, and of all things she could possibly do, she flung the demon towards Gabonga. At that moment, it was her who was like a hurricane. Here's Poplar doing the Kirby thing. Wow, she really flung him. Okay. Here we get a little bit of insight into the goblins. A band of outlaws headquartered on the side of the tower that stands on the underground city. Goblins from all walks of life gather around, following Gabonga. They desperately try to tame the magical beasts so they can spend days customizing them as their favorite ride. They act for money, and they have tried countless times to challenge Diabellstar for the bounty on their head, only to be beaten to a pulp. Since they've given up on Diabellstar, they're risking their lives trying to snatch the various treasures she brings with her. Keeping in mind the code of blood they call the Goblin Biker motto, they keep revving the engines of their souls. Big Gabonga. 3 powerful goblins called the Big Three after their amazing accomplishments, but because they are slow, no one has seen them on the battlefield. We have Doug Charger, Clatter Sploder, and Boommock, and also Mean Merciless. Diabellstar watches tiresomely as goblin bikers yell their parting remarks, fearfully fleeing in defeat. Without giving Diabellstar any chance to react, a white shadow that appeared out of nowhere sealed the magical power of the great flaming demon, Rosette. That look, that magic, there's no mistaking it. The other witch who made her appearance invited the stolen Poplar and Diabellstar to a deep sleep through her masterful use of the power of the sinful spoils. And now the hands of the clock that had been stopped began to move once again. Wow, she got him in one hit. Oh, that's where we are. Exciting. Let's look at the random stuff that's going on. So, this is an illustration of Chiyomaru and IP Masquerena. Chiyomaru chases after her mission target Masquerena under the orders of the commander of the S-Force, Justify. However, according to her snooping jutsu, her target didn't reek of being a super evil baddie. Chiyomaru thought this was very strange, so she used her secret technique, the break into the databank and analyze jutsu. And when she checked for the approval process of the mission targets, there was a ton of mumbo-jumbo. Multi-dimensional equilibrium, causality collision, permeation avoidance, ultimate future. I don't get it at all! There has to be an ulterior motive for being relentlessly pushed to chase after Masquerena. That's what was on Chiyomaru's mind, so she decided to turn her back on her mission. However, she had no idea that this small future she wants to protect with her own hands will bring about an even bigger turmoil into the world. The embodiment of the anger of the gods. The diabolic nightmare with the name of a god. The entities called gods who feared the most terrifying counteroffensive weapon created by the humans copied that technology. Who should be the ones that governs? In order to rectify these insolent humans, anger makes its move. Okay, sure. The heirs to the magical illusions. This is DM and DMG. A master of all sorts of illusion magic, he is the ultimate wizard among illusionists. It is said that those who confront them are deprived of their freedom and become his puppet before the foe even notices. And also, Nightmare Apprentice was here. This is my... There's no shot that the lore for the Kiribon woman is her fucking GeoCities website. This is my badass site where I recreated my beloved hometown. But for some reason, the access counter never seems to increase. Maybe it was a bad idea to name the site after that weird foreign word. As her anxiety grows, the notification of the 10th visitor finally arrives. But as she checked the comments section in high spirits, there was no message to be found. You bastard, you think you can just hit and run on my site, huh? With that thought on her mind, the anger of the girl, known as the ogre, was on the verge of exploding. Wait, she's mad that she has one of those, like, you're the 10th visitor things. And she's like, and then they left? Too good. This is a legend of a curse of flames told in a certain land. Is the power of the bestowed flames a curse? Is the power to bestow flames a sin? In all of creation, it is the hand of the gods that grants life, not that of man. The bestowed flames make life eternal, yet condemn the appearance of a grotesque wielding of flames. People call her the condemned princess. Love it. Spirals. Dandy, an agent skilled even for the Spiral Intelligence Agency, and whose name is widely known among villains, takes on an infiltration mission in an enemy agency, as assigned by the HQ resort, wearing the mechanical extra arms that he inherited from his master on his left arm. Dandy arrives right in front of the target, and as he did, a young man with silver hair and eyes, who looks great in a dark suit, he appeared in front of him. He was an agent of a different force, with a mechanical arm on his right arm that had a strong vestige. I thought we knew it was Sleeper. But maybe it's not Sleeper. Who is it? Wait, I thought this was supposed to be pre-corrupted Sleeper, but it's not. It's another guy. You've heard of Twink Death. This is Twink Birth. The girl who leapt over time. Perpetua, a genius scientist who developed technology to leap through time and space. An organization that wanted to monopolize time-space technology designed a plan to return to the past with a time warp and kidnap Perpetua when she was a girl. It was Redoer, a mysterious man who had time warped, who saved Perpetua from her predicament. Oh, good. Perpetua, taking pride in her smarts from when she was just a child, developed all sorts of items from the information she obtained from Redoer as she stays on the run from the evil organization. This is so fucked up. So this on the right is Perpetua when she invents time travel, and this on the left is her when they tried to kidnap her. That's so fucked up. What? Why wouldn't you just go earlier? They heard kill baby Hitler, and they were like, kill adolescent Hitler? You got it. All right. I know what you're here for. Let's do the new cards. So we have so many new cards to get through. Let's begin with Apodrakosis. So this is like a Binding of Isaac item ass name. So we previously, okay, I don't need to read about why they chose what they chose. I'm sure you did a good job, YG organization. Here we go. Quaiba. Like Kaiba? Rugged Apodrakosis of Dino Crag. Okay. This is Groudon. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name once per turn. You can shuffle this card from your hand into your deck, add an Apodrakosis Ascension Gate of Dino Crag from your deck to your hand, and I believe that is cost to shuffle. During the main phase, if 2 or more cards were destroyed this turn, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can place a face-up Apodrakosis Ascension Gate of Dino Crag on the bottom of the deck, then target other cards on the field up to the number of types among monsters on the field to destroy them. Okay, let's actually go down to the field spell first. Continuous spell, my apologies. Apodrakosis monsters gain 300, and Pendulum monsters and level 10 or higher monsters whose original type is Dinosaur gain this effect. Once per turn, when the effect of a monster on the field with less attack than this card, oh, I see, is activated, put an Apodrakosis continuous spell you control on the bottom of the deck, negate the activation. Oh. Wow. Well, that's incredibly powerful. Moving on to the next one. Wanba, Abyssal Apodrakosis of Serpentfall. Discard this card, add an Apodrakosis Ascension Gate of Serpentfall from your deck to your hand. During your main phase, if 2 or more monsters other than this were sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard this turn, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. You can place a face-up Apodrakosis Ascension Gate of Serpentfall you control on the bottom of the deck, banish your opponent's entire hand, and if you do, they draw the same number of cards. Huh. So this is strange. The second effect is like if you are able to pitch 2 cards, but this doesn't pitch itself. So it doesn't combo with the other Apodrakosis. And then let's check the Ascension Gate. So they each have a different Ascension Gate, yeah. Once per opponent's turn, you can place a face-up Apodrakosis continuous spell you control on the bottom of the deck to target a card on the field, return it to the hand. And then this one is the green one, Baba. Banish a card from your hand, add an Apodrakosis Ascension Gate of Wormhaze from your deck to your hand. If a monster becomes banished face up while this card is banished, and there are 2 or more banished monsters other than this, you can special summon this card. Place a face-up Apodrakosis on the bottom of the deck, add an Apodrakosis card from your deck, graveyard, or banishment to your hand. That card's really good. And his is... Once per opponent's turn, you can place a face-up Apodrakosis continuous spell you control on the bottom of the deck, change a monster's attack to 0. So that one's not super powerful. But, I mean, it is important to have access to it because, correct me if I'm wrong, if you have all 3, they get all 3 effects and don't have to shuffle themselves. Read the first effect. It's macro. Okay, I see. It's also macro. Fuck. It's crazy. Let's do the Pendulum monster. Gwangba, Luminous Apodrakosis of Starforge. During your main phase, you can add a Apodrakosis from your... oh my god. That destroyed this card. It's a ritual. You can ritual summon this card with Gwangba. It must be special summoned by its own effect. You can ritual summon this card with its own name. Wow, it is a ritual pendulum, but it is also a ritual spell, sort of. If a monster on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in the extra, you contribute a level 10 Apodrakosis monster. Special summon this card. This is treated as a ritual summon. Then you can destroy up to 2 cards you control. Wow, and if you do, put an equal number of Apodrakosis continuous spells from your deck face up on your field. Then we've got 2 random cards. World Creation. Add an Apodrakosis from your deck to your hand. Then you can add a Pendulum monster from your hand to your extra deck face up. Insane. During your main phase, if you control an Apodrakosis Pendulum monster card, you can banish this card and an Apodrakosis from your graveyard. Special summon an Apodrakosis from your deck with the same type. Oh my god. And the field spell. When this card resolves, take 3 monsters from your deck, add 1 to your hand, banish the other. Oh my god! What an effect! That's unbelievable. If you have a face-up Guangba in your extra deck, you can special summon up to 3. This is... Okay. Before I was like, these are cool. Now I think they're broken. Wow. Okay, so what you're meant to do here is use the field spell to get all of them into rotation, which fulfills, I believe, half the condition on each of them. You're supposed to go in on at least one of them. And then you're supposed to load up on as many of the continuous spells as you can, and then make use of the malleable effects that these cards have. It looks like you can also sort of splash them in like their associated decks. You can see on the art, this one has Oviraptor, this one has someone else, this one has a third guy. And if you have the ritual monster, you can just get one of them for free. Wow. So while I don't know if this is sufficient to make a deck yet, right? Like, these cards are cool and their linear play is good and consistent, but it only does the one thing. It's not super adaptable. There's not this like bevy of cards surrounding them that would be necessary to make the deck like competitive against a wide variety of strategies. It looks like they play super nice with a ton of dinosaur decks, a ton of sea serpent decks, and a ton of worm decks. The first place I'm thinking of playing these, of course, is dinosaur. Not hard to imagine a scenario in which that first effect where you've popped cards would be online, just by virtue of the way the dinos work. But these are some of the most potential I've seen in an archetype in a long time. Wow. Really strong. There's a lithium video already. Oh, God. Here's a 1-card combo. Sure. Let's watch this. Oh, in voiceless. Sure, let's try it out. Voiceless for Cage, for Saphira. Saphira into Ash Blossom. Of course. Then go Saphira, summon out the Skull Guardian, summon back the low. Oh. Yeah, I mean, of course. So we get to the Guangba. We get the Reincarnation Crest. We do it. All 3 added. We go Guaiba to shuffle for the Dino Gate. We summon all 3. Varudris Dino Gate. Even if it's only being used for Varudris Dino Gate, that's insane, right? You understand that that's unbelievable. But I think like the potential of this archetype goes so much beyond this. It does take a lot of deck space. That's why I would like to see it a little more all-in in a deck like, say, like Dino. But I wouldn't be... Like, this can go a great many places, and I'm excited to see where. Wow. God, I'm already thinking of Bruce. I'm already thinking, like, oh, wow, like... Oh, each of these cards is so powerful in different decks. The worm one has really got me thinking. Like worm macro, there's so many decks that want that. Oh man. It makes me feel like people felt when the Dragon Rulers were released and they were like, fuck, these are going to be so splashable. Obviously, Dragon Ruler became its own deck that was far beyond anything you were splashing it in. But man. You got a video for me? What do we got?
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back. So,
Sword Soul. That's a worm deck, all right. So let's see what his one card looks like.
So the quick play spell card is basically a searcher.
You're going to quick play for the field spell for the lead of Varudris. Then you can commit to Taya.
Basically everything from the archetype
into Baxia,
Senmoye. Reveals 3, adds 1 to hand, banishes 1, sends 1.
Yeah, and now we get to use the effect of the ritual.
And again, if you have that pendulum ritual phase up in your extra deck, you can special summon the 3 level 10s.
Oh well, we drew Protoss there, which was hilarious.
And graveyard.
I think so usually you're not going to do that.
Solid. So it's
Big
a free rank 10
Chungus,
exceed play,
and on
basically.
2
and
gates.
Again, off of 2 cards. I mean,
man, that's good. That's so strong. Wow. That's Omni, theoretically an additional Omni, macro. Wow, that's that. There's a lot you can do with these. I'm excited to get brewing with them. These are real, like, for someone who likes to brew decks, this is, like, just such an incredible series of cards. Oh, man. Okay, next up. New Blue Eyes! Yippee! Okay, so, Neo Kaiser Seahorse. Okay, if you control Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can special summon this card from your hand. I'm glad they keep printing this on the cards. They're like, fuck. If you get them out, you can just go off king. Target a light tuner you control, increase or decrease its level by 1. That's a big deal. That is a big deal in this deck. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can set a Blue Eyes monster, 1 monster that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon, from your deck to the graveyard, except Neo Kaiser Seahorse. This card's fine. Weird, strange piece of information here, though. Can you target a level 1 monster and increase its level to 0? No, that would be really cool. 8 plus 0 is 8. Bada bing! Majesty with Dragons of White. Show up to 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons from your hand, face a field, or graveyard, then destroy that many cards your opponent controls. They gave it a Steeds. You can banish this card from your graveyard to ritual a ritual. Okay. Spirit with Eyes of Blue. The link that searches the field spell. The link that searches the field spell. The link that searches the field spell. If this card is link summoned, you can take a Mausoleum of White from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. You cannot special summon except dragons. You can tribute this card to special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your hand or graveyard, but if you special summon an effect monster from your graveyard, it cannot attack and its effects are negated. This card's incredible. It's wonderful. It's really good. It's really good. Not like Mausoleum of White is an incredibly crazy card. This card's an incredibly crazy card for Blue Eyes in particular. I think Trish has already tried it in Dragon Link as well, which is maybe coping, but you know, he's surprised me before. Next up. New 7-Eleven promos. God damn it. I need these so bad. Next up. Okay. Zerarort Migrator. Okay, so this is meant to to enable Ice Princess Zerarort. Why? If a Water Xyz monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can detach an Xyz material from a monster you control. You can special summon a level 3 or 4 water monster from your hand or graveyard, but its effects are negated, and if it's used for the Xyz summon of a water monster, it can be treated as a level 5. Okay. I mean, maybe a shark card. I can't get my dick too hard about the 55th extender in shark, you know? Next up. Rev your engines with Raizeol Cross. I got a lot of shit for saying Raizeol was not particularly good. I still think it's not particularly good. I think a lot of stuff will have to happen for it to be an archetype that I will consider, but that stuff is happening. If I wake up tomorrow and there's a ban list and they've taken all the good decks back behind the shed, I will reconsider Raizeol. Let's read this card, however. You cannot Xyz summon monsters with the same name as a card you control. You can target 2 Raizeol cards in your graveyard except for Cross, put them at the bottom of the deck in any order, and draw a card. Once per turn, when an opponent's activated monster effect resolves, you can detach a material from your Raizeol Xyz monster. If you do, negate the effect. They thought they were going to get one over on me. They said, Joseph said that this rank 4 deck is boring. Joseph said this rank 4 deck would have been power crept in 2014. Joseph said if he has to perform a Xyz summon with 2 level 4 monsters, he will jump off a bridge. Well, I'll show him how exciting rank 4s can be. Give them a negate. Cool. The difference here is that it negates at resolution. This effect is fine under certain conditions. I don't like it on this because it is optional, which means it can like be part of, there's like a weird scenario where you're going to build a chain and you'll be resolving the chain, and while you're resolving the chain you'll be like, oh, and that link doesn't resolve, and you go, how? You go, well, I'm activating the effect of the field spell. Sorry, I mean, I'm applying the effect of the field spell. And they're like, is there a cost associated with it? And you go, yes, there's a cost associated with it, but it's not worded as a cost. I'll be detaching in an ability that my monster has sort of inherited and also doesn't use the chain. It sucks. It sucks. This type of effect is unquestionably very strong because it doesn't activate, but it also creates these annoying ass game states, and like it's one of those like, ooh, we've made this card better because of a wording technicality types of design that I fucking hate. All right, if this is the payoff to getting Hamon out, like on Cerulean Skyfire, you're allowed to bend the rules a little. A card like Hamon is a great beast of the entire GX season. It's allowed to break the rules, right? That's the payoff for devoting yourself to the sacred beasts. This is like, I made a rank 4, and now I get to ignore Yu-Gi-Oh! Like some of the fundamental principles. Like imagine if they printed a field spell for Snake Eyes that was like, if you control Snake Eye Ash, you determine the order of your opponent's chains. It's like, yeah, that would be good, but it shouldn't be on a card. Yeah, chat, I don't think it's like too difficult to understand. It's just gummy to explain in the middle of a chain resolution. Leads to these weird feels bad moments where instead of being invested in the story of the Yu-Gi-Oh game that's happening, you're invested in the mechanics of the game that you're playing, and it's an effect that feels like it should be rare and on super powerful relevant cards from the anime, not a dog shit rank 4 strategy. Next up, Malice. Okay. Get ready. Malice Pawn White Rabbit. You can only use this card's first and third effects once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can set a Malice trap from your deck with a different name from the cards in your graveyard. You take no battle damage from battles involving Malice Link monsters that point to this card, and if this card becomes banished, you can pay 300, special summon it, and you can't special from the extra for the rest of the turn except for Link monsters. Oh, thank God, because those are so generally kind of mid. Malice Cheshire Cat. During your main phase, you can banish a Malice from your hand, then draw 2 cards. So you're probably immediately realizing a problem. Monsters destroyed by battle with a Malice Link monster are banished instead of being sent to the graveyard, and if this card becomes banished, you can pay 300, special summon it, and you cannot special summon from the extra deck except for Link monsters. Malice Dormouse. During your main phase, you can banish a Malice from your deck. All Malice monsters you control will gain 600 attack for the rest of the turn. Malice Link monsters, the point of this card, cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this card becomes banished, you can pay 300, special summon it, and you can special from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Link monsters. Here's a cool thing you can do. Dormouse, and then banish Cheshire Cat, and then Cheshire Cat, banish White Rabbit. Cool. What are the payoffs? Red Ransom. If this card is special summoned, you can add a Malice spell from your deck to your hand. The original attack and defense of all monsters your opponent controls are swapped while this card points to a monster. Is that the first time we've seen swapped on a card? If this card becomes banished, you can pay 900 life points, special summon it, then banish a Cyberse monster from your deck. Jesus Christ. That's really on that card? Hearts of Cryptor. Quick effect. You can target a banished Malice card, so shuffle it into the deck, banish a card on the field. This effect and activation can't be negated if this card points to a monster. If this card becomes banished, pay 900, special summon it, its attack becomes double. Now, notably, this card can't point to cards if it's reanimated. So, you know, there's something. You can interact with it. Malice and Underground. When this card resolves, you can banish a Malice card from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Malice Link monsters you control have 3,000 attack, while you have 3 or more banished Malice traps with different names. If you control any Malice Link monsters, your opponent's monsters can only target them for attacks. Let's talk about the traps. Code MTP07. Oh my god, is that fucking Mad Hacker? You're kidding me. I made that video about secret lore monsters last week, and they said, guess what? Mad Hacker was a plant for the upcoming Alice in Wonderland themed archetype. He is the Mad Hatter. You're shitting me. Oh my god, dude. Stop watching my videos, Mr. Konami. Holy shit. Okay. You can activate this card the turn it was set by banishing a Malice you control. Oh, thank God you don't plus off that. Add a Malice from your deck to your hand, then if you control a Malice Link monster, banish a card on the field. This card's insane. Malice Code. GWC06. What's GWC? Gnarly White Cracker. You can activate this card the turn it was set by banishing one face-up Malice monster you control. Special summon one Malice monster from your graveyard of banishment. Then if you control a Malice Link monster, you gain life points equal to the summoned monster's attack. And then TB11. You can only activate this card the turn it was set by banishing a face-up Malice you control, especially Malice from your deck. Are you kidding me? Or if your opponent controls 3 or more cards, you can special summon a Malice Link monster from your extra deck. The summoned monster cannot attack or activate its effects this turn. But if you banish the monster, do you get to activate its effects there? Or does it follow it like Imperm? Oh, it can? Cool. Now, I'm just a simple country bumpkin. But these cards seem fucking insane. They seem unbelievable to me. And they seem like the cornerstone of a deck that will be playing Shifter. Obviously, it's like the most main deck Shifter and macro strategy I've ever seen in my entire life. One Dormouse. All right, what do we... Dormouse is circular, obviously. Let's see what you all have come up with. Okay. Dormouse into that one. Into Splat. Oh. I was so excited for this. I was like, oh, it's going to be like a mid-range deck that just like sits behind Hearts of Cryptor and the other Link monster and like, ooh, leverages their powerful trap cards that summon as removal on the opponent's turn. But this is all in service of fucking Firewall combo. It's just a dumb fucking Firewall combo deck. that's available by the fact that these cards are Cyburses. All right. This is a bestial version. Let's check it out. Splash Mage again, into Decoder, into the new one. Okay, at least she's like generic. Into Dormouse, into SP. Oh, Banish Red Ransom. Oh, okay, we're cooking just a little bit. And we're moving around some arrows here. Okay. This is... 1, annoying that this card has 2300 attack, but 2, a little more what I had in mind. This is... Yeah, okay, I get it. Malice and Underground, Red Ransom, Hearts of Cypher, SP Little Knight. That's... If this is the way the deck manifests in the TCG, I have no problem with it. Are we not Cybers locked? Wait, are we? Wait, when do we get cyber locked? Splash Mage. We'll just play Masquerena there. We'll just play Masquerena there. Just cheat. Don't cheat. Don't you do it. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I am a little frustrated that it looks like this is going to be a deck that absolutely must be playing Shifter under any and all circumstances. And I'm a little frustrated that it's apparently impossible for us to box out the stupid fucking Cybers combo that just makes Neo Tempest Terahertz. But I am excited for every deck in the deck build pack. I'm like, oh, every one of these is interesting in a different way. Even Raizeol, that's terrible, is interesting in a different way. That said, at present, and I hate to be like this, I don't think any of the setups I've seen from any of these decks are competitive versus Fiendsmith Snake Eye. I do not think any of them are in the same league as it. So for this deck build pack to be successful, you all know what has to happen. Then we'll see by the end of the month. Next up. Mimighoul Archfiend. Okay, so this isn't new cards, it's just art. And I do want to kind of showcase what this art shows. I think there was maybe like a House of Champs thread about it. But the short of it is, TCG exclusives are made by TCG picking up the phone and going, hello, OCG, this is what we would like the new archetype to be. Can you make it? And they go, okay, we'll design it. And then they make the worst cards you've ever seen in your life. Has America not suffered enough? Oh. Next up. I know why you people are fucking here. I know why you people are fucking here. You are here because we are so fucking back. We are so back. Oh my god, another 20 trillion heroes. Again, did you know there's more heroes in this game than pyros or fish or sea serpents? There's more heroes than reptiles. All right, let's... Moving on. So, we are getting evil hero retrains. So the evil heroes have always been kind of the black sheep of the Omni Hero package. Elemental heroes have seen a ton of play, both because of powerful cards like Stratos and, what's his name? Shadow Mist. But also recently with cards like Infernal Flame Wingman and Sunrise. Even the Neos cards have seen play recently with the Pote Cover card, Infernal Devicer, etc. Vision heroes have seen a ton of play. Masked heroes have seen a ton of play. The only heroes that are not seeing play are the evil ones. Fizzy Dad, thank you for the 500. I agree. The evil heroes enjoyed a small stint of playability in Omni Hero because Malicious Bane and a Dusted Gold are good. But now, let me give you something better. Evil Hero, Toxic Bubble. This is me when I fart in the pool. All right, that's what I got. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. Chat asking, what does the N on his belt stand for? That's Numbo. No, it's actually... Do you know I actually know this? This is Neo Bubbleman. a card that cannot be summoned in the TCG because it requires use of Metamorphosis, a card that is illegal. So the N stands for Neo Bubbleman, and he's evil Neo Bubbleman. Anyway, you can special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can only use the second effect once per turn. You can special summon this card from your hand. They said, Neo Bubbleman is too hard to summon, so this one you can just do. You can just summon him. Just do him. Fuck it. If summoned this way, you cannot special summon cards for the rest of the turn, except for hero monsters. And if this card is special summoned and you control a fusion monster that must be summoned with Dark Fusion, you can draw 2 cards. This card's insane. It's unbelievable. Even our Poplar is better than Poplar. All right, next up is Evil Hero Death Prison, which is, I guess they're probably going to call him Death Prisma, Death Prisma, Doom Prisma. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn, second effect once per turn. If you control a fusion monster that must be special summoned with Dark Fusion, free special. You can send a hero monster from your deck to the graveyard. Oh my god. If you fusion summon a hero monster this turn, this face-up card can be used as a substitute for any fusion material whose name is mentioned on it, but the other materials must be correct. So this one's fantastic because old Prisma doesn't work like this. Let me just pull up Prisma for you. Come on, you know what I wanted. So old Prisma says, reveal a fusion monster, send a listed card to the graveyard, then it becomes that. But this one says, send any card, and then it becomes that if you perform a fusion summon. Meaning, even if you don't have a card that says Destiny Hero Malicious, you can send Destiny Hero Malicious. Importantly, this is a starter. This is another starter for the archetype. You can do this, send Shadow Mist, and then just do your full combo. But I don't think it's going to be played in that capacity. I think it's going to be played as a mechanism by which you can still play the game if your Vion doesn't resolve, which it often doesn't, which doesn't give you access to Destiny heroes. In fact, I think this card's use is to just shore up your ability to access heroes that otherwise hand traps can screw you out of. Importantly, this card is also a light, which is not normal. Most heroes are dark. Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, it. Sorry. Let me re-explain its effect. It doesn't become that monster. It becomes any monster as long as it's named. Anyway, I like this card a great deal. It's incredibly powerful. And the third guy is actually not a retrain of anything. It's, I think, the Supreme King and his dog. So if this card is normal or special summoned, which is hard because it's 6 stars, you can add a Dark Fusion from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So the problem here is, what you've probably noticed is the 2 above cards are only good if you have Dark Fusioned monsters. But all the monsters that must be summoned with Dark Fusion are penis bad. They're old evil heroes from the year of our Lord, 1999. So this card, you can banish this card and 4 other monsters from your graveyard. Set a fucking super poly. But of course, you're locked into hero monsters. But you can fusion summon monsters that must be special summoned with Dark Fusion with effects other than it. So, it's okay. It means you can't super poly into Mud Dragon, but you can super poly into the attribute hero monsters, which is still pretty good. Now, these are fine cards. You know, they're good. But at the end of the day, they're bolstering the power of some really terrible fusion monsters. So rather than make us wait another year for an animation chronicle, they have just printed the fusion monsters we are supposed to summon. Here we go. Let's begin with Evil Hero Neos Lord. So this is if Elemental Hero Neos became the Supreme King, I think. Level 10 Dark Fiend Fusion Monster. Materials: Elemental Hero Neos, or a fusion monster that mentions it, and an effect monster on the field. So firstly, you've probably realized this is the most insane fucking super poly target of all time for this deck that is about to lock itself into this. Must be special summoned with Dark Fusion, of course, you know. unless you have Infernal Manned. You can only use the first effect once per turn. If this monster is special summoned, or if a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard while this monster is on the field, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, take control of it. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Incredible for so many reasons. DPE, target this and an opponent's monster, pop the opponent's monster, trigger this card to take the other one. Your opponent's doing their setup combo. Well, guess what, asshole? Give me your cards. Because you are going to be able to search the Super Poly, you can go Super Poly, steal one of their monsters. Then afterwards, you can go proc the effect of this, steal another one. It's quite good. It's incredibly strong. Next up. Evil Hero Infernal Wing Infernal Backlash. This one needs Avian and Burstinatrix, or Burstinatrix, and one hero. Dark Fusion. If this card is special summoned, you can add a Dark Fusion or a card that mentions it from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except a fusion monster. And if your hero monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflict 2,100 damage to them. So this is the reason we're playing Death Prisma. Yeah. So for chat, if you haven't figured it out yet, the goal here is you go Death Prisma, activate the effect, send Malicious, and then when you perform a fusion summon, he's going to be named Elemental Hero Burstinatrix. Got it? Figure it out. Now you have to get through this card first, because you really do not want to go for Dark Fusion here, I think. Never named Avian? Wait, what? Sorry, am I wrong here? Why does this not work? Chat is being stupid. You're right. Oh, okay. Unsurprisingly. And also this is like a really good like mid-combo monster. It's a way to grab a Dark Fusion to hand, and then you would imagine you would also like get into your other Dark Fusion guys here. Chat is pointing out, yes, there are other cards that let you cheat the Dark Fusion limit, like Supreme King's Castle, but we'll see. And then finally we have Evil Hero Dark Knight. Who the fuck is this? Is this a Skuradao but evil? Is it Dark Gaia but evil? No. Dark Gaia is already evil. This is just a guy. Fiend monster and a warrior monster. It's Neos Knight. Okay. Monsters your opponent controls lose attack equal to the total original attack of the fusion materials used for this card summon. That's funny. It's just going to put them at 0. Can make a second attack each battle phase, and if this face-up special summoned card you control leaves the field by your opponent, target a fiend or warrior, special summon it in defense position. I don't know what this is for exactly, but cool. Dark Contact. Okay. Activate one of these effects. Either fusion summon a fusion monster that must be special summoned with Dark Fusion from your extra deck by shuffling its materials from your field, graveyard, or banishment into the deck. This is treated as a fusion summon with Dark Fusion. Are you fucking with me? Or grab Castle or Dark Fusion. Oh my god. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. 1,000 years malicious. 1,000 years malicious. Do we need to put Mali back to 2? The difference between Mali and 2 at 3 is if you're getting 6 maliciouses or 5. Oh my god. I'm gonna cry, man. It's so perfect. Evil Assault. Okay, we'll have to change that name. Discard a card. You cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except hero monsters. Oh no. Take a level 4 or lower evil hero from your deck. Either add it to your... Okay, they gave us 3 more. A hero lives. Wow. You do minus yourself, though. That is true. You do have to take a minus on this. If this card is in your graveyard, banish it out of Dark Fusion from your graveyard to your hand. Boy, that's annoying. And finally, Dark Supremacy. Is there a way to search this card? Target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Dark Fusion and spells that mention it in your graveyard. Negate their effects until the end of the turn. If this card is in your graveyard, banish it, then target up to 5 heroes. Shuffle them. Oh my god. This card's unbelievable. It is a layered form of interaction, which we've been, eating well with over the past couple of sets, by virtue of like the Pote Trap, the ability to play like through fucking Dark Ruler no more, or like targeted negation. This one doesn't even require you to have heroes on field. It's like if your opponent just leads Raigeki, this still pops 7 cards. Or negates 7 monsters. Wow. Wow. Okay, so a lot going on here. The short of it is, I don't know how nicely these nestle into the existing hero deck. The existing hero deck is very tight. And like, while these cards are impressive, I don't know if they add too much to the end board. What I think this does instead is forces us to rethink how we play hero. If it's worth it to play a lot of the cards we're currently playing when we could be playing almost a different deck entirely. Let's check out Jaden BR. What's he doing? A hero lives +1. Jaden BR, I love him. He does play these like, I'm going to do every hero at the same time. Oh my fucking god, a Dusted Gold searches this card. Oh my good god. Doing the Mali thing here. Grabbing Sinister Necrom into Infernal Devicer for Neos. Into Poly, into Sunriser for Miracle. Sinister Necrom for Hellrider. Grab Dark Fusion into the new guy for the Trap. Wonder Driver for Infernal. Trigger both. We still have 8 Mallies. Mali, Poly, DPE, Hellman. Jesus Christ. That's so good, man. And you can go farther if you want to. You can go farther. You can. I imagine this can also consistently end on like Darklaw if you don't have to use your Vion Send on Shadow Mist, which you usually won't have to. Check this out. Doesn't play around Nib. Well, the deck already has an anti-Nib line. Also, it does. Okay, hold up. You're saying the deck doesn't play around Nib. But the deck gets to Favorite Contact, and it gets to... or Eternal Favorite, and it gets to the new Trap. And the DPE always lives through the Nib because it can pop one of your monsters as well. But you also can still do wake-up shit. Like, this is what I mean when I talk about, like, layered forms of interaction. Jesus Christ, look at this grip. Oh my god, this is Edo. What is this, Omega? Raiders! Fala Galera. I can't roll my R's. Hope you had a good stream. Okay, so we just do the normal line to get to Stratos, and then we search a Dusted, get into Doom Prison, send Necrom for Hell, Hell for Dark Fusion, for Infernal Devicer. Whoa! Reveal the new guy for Neos. Into one demon. Make, what is this? The Infernal, yeah, Rage. Proc the Wonder Driver, Setback, Poly, Infernal Rage. Go grab favorite contact. Sunrise. For Miracle. Dark Fusion. For the new guy. There he is. Supremacy. Mali. Now we do the Mali half of the deck. Poly for DPE. Can we Miracle for Wake Up? We can. DPE Wake Up. Grab Shadow Mist. Oh, this is really something. So the addition to the board by integrating the evil hero stuff is you get the Omni Negate and a set Super Poly. That seems pretty good. End of main Nibiru. Everyone thinks they're a genius. End of main Nibiru leaves you on Darklaw, DPE, the Omni Negate, the Pote cover card. Super Poly. The thing that leaves the field if you end of main Nibiru is the Wonder Driver and the Dark Fusion guy. Okay, we go favorite contact. Do we make the new guy here? No, we're still using Neos Flame Wingman. No, man, that's crazy. That's unbelievable, man. I'm excited, but at the same time, and I hate to say this, I'm also staring at a field that was made possible by a bunch of cards that I don't want to draw in the main deck. I don't know how you are going to live in a world where you need to play 18 non-engine and get all this shit in your deck. That's why you go above 40. Even if you're playing 60, I think you probably should be playing more than 40 at this point. I play 50 in my current build, but it might be 60 time. Because now we have 3 more hero lives. Oh, man. Dull, long combo got longer and duller. Keep molding. All I have to say to hero haters is keep molding. Konami will continue to give us all the slop we want, and you'll have to sit through it. Okay. That's new cards, PogChamp.